So it's been 5 years with the Nintendo Switch, and it's amazing that this console still doesn't have basic features that this 10-year-old console, the Nintendo 3DS, has, like a basic internet browser that you can use when you need to use it without jumping through a whole bunch of hoops and hackney ways to do it that you have to do right now on the Switch. I mean, the 3DS has that in full, and what's pretty cool is it actually has a secret game. If you tap out the Mario theme on the screen, you actually can play a secret Brick Breaker game right on it. By now, Nintendo should have added it onto the Switch. People have been asking for it, so they should have got the message by now, which actually brings up another feature that they're missing, which is the basic native messaging in chat is something that should be pretty basic and in most next-gen consoles. And even the Nintendo Wii had this. At least on the Nintendo 3DS, you can use an app called Scribblenot, and you can at least send notes back and forth to each other. There is no native note-taking or messaging at all on the Nintendo Switch, which is still mind-boggling to this day. It's like they're not getting the picture here about what users want. Speaking of which, there are like no front or rear cameras on the Nintendo Switch. And I would think they would want to take what they kind of did with the 3DS with the cameras for the AR and things like that. That's pretty sort of becoming a bigger thing, and be able to like use that here on the Nintendo Switch. Even the basic camera feature to send and take pictures, it doesn't have to be high resolution. It isn't high resolution here on the 3DS either, but it was something nice and something there, and you would think they would kind of include that 3D camera capabilities that they had on here on the Nintendo Switch, but they just decided to skip that altogether. It's just like they skipped out any sort of real customization here on it as well too. On the Switch right now, all you have is the basic black or the basic white theme. At least on the 3DS, you had a plethora of different themes, a lot of free ones and ones you could download and buy and add on and sort of customize this out all the way you want to. You had basic things like folders to be able to organize your games. They did create folders in a sort of hack me way on the Switch. It's not great, I would say, versus what you see here on the 3DS and on other Nintendo consoles to be able to organize your games around here with things. Probably the biggest thing is the virtual console support. I mean, the 3DS does a great job with that in terms of supporting older games and virtual consoles and be able to play that large library with it. That seems to be now all behind a paywall with the Nintendo Switch, with Nintendo Switch Online, which is not the best service. And you have to wait for them to release the game instead of being able to buy these games and play them directly on your console, or be able to transfer them from your 3DS or DS platform over to the Nintendo Switch. None of that exists on here, and it's just mind-boggling for a company that, if you look between the Nintendo Wii all the way up until the Switch, was actually pretty good about backwards compatibility and legacy gaming to an extent on their consoles, that completely sort of cut that once the Switch showed up and decided, hey, you want that? You're gonna have to pay for that. I'm probably nitpicking a bit on this feature, but there's no native MP3 player on here, which I get that not a lot of people might want to play music on here, but this is a fully portable console on here. You should be able to at least do music or something like that. Even if 3DS had 3DS sounds, you could put MP3s on an SD card and play music off of it. They have no sort of music capabilities or being able to play it right on here, which just doesn't make a lot of sense. You had something like the PS Vita, which was similar and kind of a little bit ahead of its time in terms of device that had all those multimedia capabilities built right into it. Nintendo just kind of said nope, and they don't really care about it. I mean, we just recently got Bluetooth headphone capabilities here with this, so I don't know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to be missing these features with such a portable device. And probably the last thing I'm talking about here is download play. That was such a cool feature on the 3DS here. So if one person had the game, pretty much everybody else around could play the same game as well too. And that is just non-existent here on the Switch. If you want to play games, you're all gonna have to own that copy of that game. There's no way to share those games around. I wish they would sort of figure out a way to do that once again, because I think that was a feature a lot of people liked, especially if they wanted to try a game before buying the game. That was one way to sort of do it. And so hopefully Nintendo may be watching this and might get some of these recommendations, just like this video right here that YouTube recommends you watch next, and I'll catch you over there. Thanks for watching.